It is time for the Atlanta Braves franchise. We can finally get this show on the road as the OSFM rosters have dropped. If you guys don't know what the OSFM rosters are, it stands for Operation Sports Full Minors. They're exactly what they sound like. It's a community-made roster that they do every year. They do a fantastic job on it, and it is a vital part to multi-year franchises. And it's just these guys make these full minor rosters, AAA, AA, top prospects. They're all in it. Of course, they can't get everybody because of roster limitations, but they do the best job they can, and they do a fantastic job. So I will leave in the description a way, if you guys don't know how to download that, I'll leave a step-by-step description of how to download that in the description. So for those of you who are new to this channel, or maybe you've just never seen one of my MLB franchises before, franchise is my bread and butter. That's what's built this channel. That's what my channel is built around, is the franchise series. And normally when you see a franchise series on YouTube, you see it's mainly simulating every game, making as many trades as possible to try to build a World Series winning team as fast as possible. That is not what you see from me. What I do is I play games, and the focus is on the presentation of the videos. Play-by-play broadcast and highlight videos, something like you'd see on ESPN. Now, of course, you're still going to see team building with trades, signing free agents, drafting, the offseason, etc., etc., but the trades will actually make sense. They're going to be realistic trades, and they're not made for petty reasons, like because someone requested it in the comments, or I knew it was going to be a good clickbait title. I'm not doing any trades like that. I never do. I try to keep it as realistic and the presentation as good as possible. You're not going to see an MLB team start their season by trading for Noah Syndergaard, Will Myers, and Gary Sanchez in 3 separate trades a day before opening day. You're also not going to see me do that. You're not going to see an MLB team trade every veteran on their roster for prospects a day before opening day, so you're not going to see that from me either. What you will see from me is play-by-play broadcasts like I mentioned, ESPN-style highlight videos. You're going to see monthly recap episodes, which is basically at the end of every in-game month, I take a look at how the team is performing, who's playing well, who's not, who could possibly be bumped down in the order, who could possibly be pushed into the lineup, and who could be benched. Possible plans for the team, trades, could someone be traded, am I looking at a particular player, does the team have a need in the bullpen, topics like that. And then you'll also see prospect profiles, which are a fan favorite. As you guys know, baseball's a unique game because the young guys of the game aren't immediately thrusted into the MLB level. They work their way up through the minor league system. So instead of you guys just not being able to see any of these guys, I make this prospect profile series where I'll play a game as one of the MLB affiliates, MILB affiliates, with a player lock on, and I'll talk about the organization's prospect, whichever prospect I go over that particular episode. So is the guy a power bat? Is he a singles hitter? Is he a power or finesse pitcher? Is Gold Glove potential? All that stuff will be going over in those videos. Now that that's out of the way, let's hop into some actual Braves talk, as they're an interesting team. Their roster is kind of built on both sides of the spectrum. They have a lot of young prospects. They're the best farm system in baseball, right in front of the Yankees. I'm pretty sure the Braves are ranked number 1 farm system, number 2 is the Yankees, and the number 3 is, I'm not sure who, but that doesn't matter. I know that the Braves are ranked the number 1 farm system in baseball. So they have a very young organization that's very good, but then they also have a lot of veterans on their roster. They've got R.A. Dickey now. They've got Jaime Garcia. They've got Brandon Phillips. They just signed Ryan Howard to a minor league contract a couple days ago. A lot of guys who you wouldn't really expect would be on a team that's rebuilding and trying to just get these guys up to the big leagues as fast as possible. But I guess that's why they have these veteran guys, is they don't want to rush them to the big leagues. They want to have these veterans that can, when they do get here, influence these younger guys, and then also be stopgaps for these younger guys so they don't have to rush into the big leagues, and when they're ready, that's when they can come up. One of the interesting veterans they have is actually currently in the minors trying to revive his career after 2 Tommy John surgeries, missing most of 2016 with shoulder issues, is Kris Medlen. He was signed to a spring training invitee contract, and he made the organization. He's currently down in the minors, like I said, trying to revive his career. Micah Johnson is an interesting injury. He just got wrist surgery in March of 2017. His return is to be decided. Jacob Lindgren, a lefty, came over from the Yankees. He is recovering from August 2016 Tommy John surgery. He will likely miss all of 2017. Sean Rodriguez, I'm sure you guys have heard about the car accident he got in. He ended up having a shoulder surgery because of that car accident. He is also probably going to miss all of 2017. Some of the top prospects they've got in that #1 farm system is Ozzie Albies. He's the #1 prospect, already in AAA at 20 years old. Kevin Maitan, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, a shortstop. He's an A potential in the game. Left-handed pitcher Colby Allard, he is also an A potential in the game. Mike Soroka, he's a B potential. He'll also probably be pretty good. Right-handed pitcher Aaron Blair, he was up in 2016, had a very rough 2016, but he is still part of the future. He is starting the season in AAA. Matt Weisler, his potential rating isn't that high in the game. He's a C potential, but he's still a decent to good young arm with potential to improve. He could possibly boost that potential up. He's also starting the season in AAA with a lot of the veteran arms that have been added to the rotation here in Atlanta over the offseason. Rio Ruiz is a guy who's over at third base. He could possibly push Adonis Garcia, who's not really the future plan there at third base. He could push him out of the roster and then push his way up into that starting spot, possibly in 2017, maybe in 2018. We'll see. He was up for a cup of coffee in the big leagues in 2016. And before we actually wrap up this first episode of the Atlanta Braves series, there is one thing to go over. I did go out and make one signing before the season start, and that's Alex Liddy. I'm pretty sure it's Liddy. He is an Italian-born third baseman / first baseman. He's 28 years old. He's currently not in the major leagues. He played for Team Italy, of course, because he's from Italy in the World Baseball Classic. And one of the needs that we had when I was looking at the roster was a backup first baseman, with Ryan Howard being in AAA. No real backup first baseman on the roster, and then only third baseman being the utilityman Chase Darno and Emilio Bonifacio. I wanted to get more of a power bat coming off the bench. Alex Liddy fills that role. He's a good bat to come off the bench. He's got a great arm over on third base. He can play first as well, especially we need that need since Sean Rodriguez is going to be out for the season, and Ryan Howard is definitely a question mark over there at first base. You don't know how he's going to perform. Do we want to call him up? Maybe, maybe not. But Alex Liddy is a direct fill in the bench as a pinch hitter. He's a guy who can platoon at third and first whenever we need him. He can be a decent bat off the bench. So Alex Liddy, the Italian-born corner infielder, has been signed to a one-year contract to the Braves. So with that being said, that's going to wrap things up here for this edition of the Atlanta Braves franchise here on MLB The Show 17. Next episode will be opening day against the New York Mets. That'll be tomorrow. It'll be a play-by-play broadcast. I've been your host, Jersey Born, and I'm saying goodbye.